Good morning. Welcome to Energy Works. Today we're talking about the olive branch of forgiveness. And I think we've had a lot of topics about forgiveness and acceptance and I guess, tolerance and, inclusiveness, because I think at this point in time, the world is becoming very divided. And I think, the best hope for all of us is to become united and to be able to forgive each other for the things that we do wrong. So, it's not an easy thing to forgive. Yeah, I wanted to clear some energy around that because I think this is a big problem in the whole world. So what do you think you need to forgive? And, what olive branch do you have to stick out there? Okay, so I guess all the things that are happening right now are around, where we belong, where we fit in, what are the rules, who's got our back. And so I guess, trusting that we are going to be able to get through what is going on and also that we're going to be able to be loving, kind people that are accepting of whatever anyone chooses, whatever religion they have, whatever, political affiliations they have, that we are able to be united and care for each other. Okay, so the first thing that comes up is I'm afraid to feel certain emotions. So what are you afraid of feeling? Age 16 comes up, age 19, 22, 41, 48, somebody 93. Wow. So now we're just going to check on the type of emotions that we might be wanting to feel. Okay, so the first one is fear. So we're afraid of feeling fear. All right, so fear is good and bad. Fear can help us be cautious or to keep ourselves safe, but also can be paralyzing that we're unable to move forward in life or we're unable to go and do what we feel inspired to do. All right, so Jenny's mentioned trusting, showing my full emotion of love, issues about people leaving. Okay. All right, age 2 shows up. All right, so what was happening when you were 2? And I guess when we're young, we have, we're very passionate about things, or we really show love, or we're full of excitement. And, some little kids, when they get so excited, they want to bite people because they don't know what to do with that energy. And so sometimes their way of showing love is perhaps incorrect. And so then they're shut down. So it's like we then have to unlearn the ways that we show love and perhaps learn new ways or different ways, because it is good that we show love. Okay, female friends comes up. I don't know. All right, and also age 16 comes up for people leaving. Okay, and we're going to go into our solar plexus chakra. All right, I no longer rely on other people's opinions of me. And I guess as a young child, we need people to love us. And so it's like our very life depends on being loved and accepted and, to be fed and clothed and treated in an appropriate manner requires us to be accepted. And so we then have behaviours that we take on to make ourselves be loved. All right, age 16 again. All right, and if we say I use my power wisely, and as a 16-year-old, sometimes we don't use our power wisely. All right, and a part of our grid can be damaged. So it's like our chakras all sit inside our grid. And so if we have a shocking experience, sometimes our grid will split and it won't carry the chakras and house our energy system properly. So Jenny's saying friends, getting boyfriends moving away recently. All right, so let's say I have enough love. And, I think our community's been affected by lockdowns and different things that have happened. And so it's like we are not as friendly and outgoing and inclusive to people as we once were. So it's like all the places that we may have been show love have been restricted now. So it's like we really need to make extra effort to show love to people, whether that's by dropping something off on their doorstep, or whether it's a text or a phone call, or whether it's about praying for someone, or, working on the forgiveness of someone that's offended you so that you can show love. All right, age 18 comes up as well, and age 32, and age 42. All right, so if we say I have enough love, it's strong now. So I guess if we think about it's like this balance, or, sometimes we lose something, but then other things come in, but we may not associate the two together and realize that it's actually equal. So often, if we have friends or people that move away, there are other people that can come into our lives, but we have to let them in, and we have to be willing to love, and we have to take a risk. And, I guess there is a possibility of rejection. So we have to be willing to take that risk of being rejected to receive love and to expand our circle of love. So if I say I'm okay with expanding my circle, it's like, no. So age 7 comes up here, and 10, and 13, 18, 32, 35, 41. All right. I just had a thought too, if there's anyone that you would like to dedicate this call to, someone that you're worried about, just let us know. Okay, so now we're going to go into the throat chakra. All right. I no longer fear rejection when I speak honestly. I willingly replace smoking, alcohol abuse, dope, overeating, unhealthy dieting with my powerful creativity. So how do you create? Now, I know both Jenny and Cassie are artists, and also Cassie's into composing. So how else do you create? And I know Margaret creates she makes beautiful like creams and bath bombs and things with all natural things. Beautiful. So very creative. All right, it's now the right time to express the best of who I am now. I release the fear and doubt that blocks the way to my creative expression. So I think today's message is we need to express ourselves creatively. And I think as we do that, that can be the path to forgiveness, so that we let go of the negative feelings that are trapped within us, whether it's by, art, dance, music, writing, exercise, however else it is that we get that out of our body. That's really important. All right. And I acknowledge my unique set of superpowers. And we all have superpowers. We might not value our superpowers, but we all have them. And if we say it's safe to value my superpowers, it's like, no. Age 6 comes up. Jenny said creativity is so important. I agree, because if we don't have an outlet of expression, it all is contained within us, and I think you feel like you want to explode, and then we're not very forgiving at all when we want to explode. Age 9 as well. All right, so these childhood ages, 6, 9 and 10, I don't know if they mean anything to you, but there's emotions stuck there. So what's coming up here is fixations or complexes or neurotic attachments affecting emotional nature. So I guess this is where we feel like we can't be ourselves and we want to cover ourselves up. So we're just going to release some energy here. So just take a big breath in and out. I've been listening to Wim Hof's book on Audible while I was doing bindi weeding. I find that very soothing, grounding. And he was talking about doing deep breathing and also using cold showers. Like even if you have like a hot shower and make it very hot and then do cold afterwards, start with 15 seconds or 30 seconds until you can gradually build it up to about 2 minutes. And apparently that helps our blood vessels to become more flexible and helps with blood pressure and our autonomic nervous system. So it's worth listening to some of these things and using them to help release the stress in your body. All right. Thanks, Jenny. She said, I guess as young children, we usually try and fit in. And that's very true. We are chameleons to try and fit in and belong so that we don't stick out or get in trouble. And thank you, Nikki. She says, I'm looking angelic. Thanks. Okay. So for the people that are on, where is the energy stuck in your body? Where are you feeling it? Where has this like unforgiveness or lack of self-forgiveness, where is it hiding in your body? Where is it manifesting? All right, and now we're going to go into the crown chakra. All right, Cassie said hips. Okay. All right, so left shoulder, thank you, Margaret. And this is from Jenny Rosengren's book. Although I am an individual, I am connected to the oneness of all things. So, thanks, Jenny. She said neck and lungs, all right. All right, so preventing us from feeling connected to the oneness of all things is a generational problem on mum's side. Mum's dad's side, actually, and the women. Time of conception as well. Our own feelings. All right, so now we're going to go into the I am principle. So sometimes we have to come back to what have we been thinking? What have we been telling ourselves? What's the dialogue in our head? Because what we tell ourselves or what we say we are is what we become or what we manifest. All right, so every thought creates energy and affects our vibrational frequency. What we tell ourselves matters. Every time we tell ourselves I am and finish the sentence, the subconscious receives it as a command. So not only we must be aware of how we are defining ourselves when we use I am statements, but also when we finish with I am not. For example, I'm not smart enough, I'm never on time, I'm not a good mother, and so on and so on. So we have to believe that we are enough or, how we would like it to be, because otherwise we create what we're thinking. So if we can do this exercise, consciously stay in your mind, I am, and what comes in your head, what finishes the sentence. So what does come in your head? Because whatever comes in is the program that you're running in your head. And it's a subconscious mind, and it's like this tape is playing over and over. And your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish whether it's good or bad. It just hears what you say and says, oh, you think about that a lot, I'll give that to you. So if you tell it you're stressed, then that's the program it runs with, and more stress is what you will get. So the mind and the ego will always try to define who you are. It will always want to finish the sentence. If we're consciously aware of these thoughts that keep presenting themselves, we can clear them and integrate new positive statements of intention. Our ultimate aim is to say, I am, and not be tempted to finish the sentence. To begin, we can incorporate statements like these ones, like I am abundance, I am divine, I am source, I am light. So I think, checking in on your thoughts And what are you thinking and saying to yourself? So let's say I am love. All right, age 12 comes up here. What happened when you were 12? Why did you not feel like you were loved? Okay, so generational again, mum's side, mum's dad's side, and the women. All right, we're going to go into the 8th chakra. So I am love holds now. I am abundance is strong. I am divine. I'm source. I'm light. And let's say I'm enough. I'm always enough. And we're talking about the olive branch of forgiveness. So I think for us to be able to forgive others, we have to be able to forgive ourselves. So what are you having trouble forgiving yourself for? I forgive myself for feeling misunderstood, for feeling powerless. All right, more generational stuff here. Mum's mum and the women. So I think women tend to be very unforgiving of themselves. Okay, mum's dad's side as well. And the men. Very good. So now we're just going to talk about the 8th chakra, which goes under the 1st chakra and is into the ground. So it brings us down to earth, helps us live in our body, and like gravity, it pulls us down into this earthly experience and into the now. It allows us to resonate with natural laws, the rhythm of earthly life, and working within the constraints of time as we know it now. All right, so thank you, Jenny. She's mentioned making wrong financial decisions in the past. All right, so there's some generational baggage attached to that one from dad's side, just dad. And some stuck emotions in the genes there. Feelings of self-rejection. So I guess when we become parents and we have a child, we love that child unconditionally. And, you know, no matter what problem that child has, we want to help them. We want them to be okay. We want them to master whatever their problem is. And, you know, even children that have terrible difficulties, the parents love them so much and are willing to help them. And they, of course, learn through the experience and expand their ability to be loving through this. So I'm just going to clear some affirmations around prosperity. All right. Even though I may struggle, I feel security is mine now. Okay, money comes to me in planned and unplanned ways that are good. I have integrity. My gift to this world blesses my family and all those who benefit from my gift. I release the need to be a doormat. All right, now we're going to go into our heart chakra. So let's make sure that we get outside today and that we actually allow ourselves to discharge the old negativities that we feel. Let them go into the earth. We don't need the old thinking anymore. We need to just be present and be okay with who we are, which is easy for me to say right now, but it's, I guess, what we all strive to attain. All right, so our heart chakra comes up and criticism of and hate of ourselves. So we know whatever weaknesses we have are given to us for a reason, and they're things that can become our strengths. So what parts of you would you like to become strong? Let's go into the lungs. And our lungs actually hang on to the base of our neck. So if our lungs are having problems, often our neck can have problems. What comes up is feeling suppressed. Oh, Margaret said, loving oneself is so hard to do. I totally agree. But, if we can't love all of ourselves, there are some parts of ourselves that we love. I don't know if you ever watched that movie, Mr. Holland's Opus. There is a young girl in there that's struggling to play the clarinet, and he stops her and he asks her what she loves most about herself. And this girl has beautiful auburn hair. And so she says, I love my hair. And so he talks about her playing the color of her hair. I think it's like a sunset color. And so it's like she's then able to express herself through her music much better as she does that. So it's like, love one part of yourself. Just love one little bit of yourself and start with that. One bit that you know that you're okay with. All right. So Jenny's mentioned she wants to reduce her worrywart behaviour. And Jenny's mentioned also lifelong project, Margaret, loving oneself. 100%. 100%. And I think inadvertently, our parents want us to improve and to do better, and so they can be critical at times to, try and help us improve or lift our game, and we can take it to heart instead of seeing it as the opportunity to change. All right. So the feelings that are suppressed in your lungs, what are they? What comes up is lack of inner peace. So I want you to think about all the tough things that you've done in your life, the terrible situations that have occurred, the illnesses, the accidents, the difficulties, the financial boo-boos, the health boo-boos, all the things that have gone wrong. I want you to think about that you've survived that. And even if it wasn't perfect and it could have been avoided, you have survived. You've got to this point. You've done a great job. So if you can survive what you've survived in your life, you can survive anything. And not only survive, but thrive. All right, so contributing to the lack of inner peace is a generational problem on Dad's side. Dad's dad and the men. So I guess allowing yourself to have inner peace, what makes you feel peaceful. Now, for me, as I mentioned, I like to go and sit out in the grass and pull out the bindies and the weeds. And for me, that's really therapeutic. For some people, that'll be boring as. But for me, that grounds me and I don't have to think too much and I can feel peaceful. And then I can, go and help people when I feel peaceful and a bit recovered. Okay. All right. More generational stuff on the worrywart behaviour, Dad's side of the family. All right. So trust. Okay. So trusting others. So feelings of inadequacy come up here too. And I think we often compare ourselves to others. We look at other people and we think, oh, look, they've got it together. And yes, maybe they have a different part of their life together, but they probably don't have the whole of it together. And it may look good on the outside, but we don't know. And so we just know the holes that we have in our own lives or our own ability, and we just focus on the holes. I want you to focus on the rest and the rest of everything. I saw a little quote, I think it was an Einstein quote, and he'd written like the 9 times tables on the board, except for the last one, and he'd written the wrong answer. And, people criticised him and said, oh, you got that one wrong. And he said, look, I got 9 right and I got 1 wrong. You're going to focus on the one that's wrong. So maybe we need to focus on the things that are right rather than the things that are wrong. Okay, so in the neck is also some generational stuff from Mum's mum. and again the women. So cranial fault here as well. Okay, so we're just going to plug in as if we've had a little cranial treatment. All right, so now we're going to go with the hips into the second chakra, which is about balancing money, sex, and power. It's also about our creativity. All right, I'm in touch with my feelings. I'm in charge of my own sexual fulfillment. I'm aligned with God's plan for me. I have the power to choose my reaction in any situation. And I think that's a very powerful thing, because often we have automatic reactions that we, want to blow up. I know I do. I can't watch TV at the moment or I become feral. So it's like we have to choose what we do and how we do it. All right, back into the crown chakra. All right, I'm worthy of divine connection regardless. I'm enough regardless of what I own. I clearly see my own divine nature. I am fun and spiritual. All right, my mind functions optimally. All right, age 2, something stuck there. And let's go a bit more into the hips. I'm using Inner Siegel's book here. All right, so what's coming up is feeling unappreciated. And sometimes we have to start with self-appreciation. As we mentioned, we often don't like ourselves, but maybe we can acknowledge things that we have accomplished in the day, or things that we do like about our body, things that are working better than they used to, things that are on the improve rather than going backwards. Also, what comes up here is feeling unacknowledged. All right, what else comes up here is in the hips is who are you taking responsibility for? And I guess we have to hand everything upward or to Mother Earth when we have too much in our mind or too much in our body or our heart. Also, what comes up in the hips is feeling manipulated. So what's the opposite of manipulated? So I am feeling masterful, strong, steadfast, and tenacious. All right. So tenacious is the only one that's weak there. So I guess that being able to stick to something and decide you're going to do it anyway, and if it doesn't go one way, that you're going to try another. Okay, I'm just going to go into the 9th chakra, which is above the 7th. All right, and what's coming up here is being a people pleaser. And I guess if you think about it from being a baby, that's how we did. Oh, Jenny's saying her light's flickering as well. Sometimes we have negative energy that wants to prevent us from moving forward. So it's like we have to decide we're doing it anyway and that we're going to stick to it regardless. All right, so what's coming up as strengthening is swimming in the ocean. All right, and we're going to use an oil here too. So tangerine oil, and I'm sure tangerine oil is the oil of creativity. So I think creativity is the order of the day. All right, creativity can be stifled by an excessive sense of duty or creating rigid standards for oneself. It sounds like all of us, doesn't it? So this is from Essential Emotions. While work, duty, and responsibility all have their place, feeling overworked, overly responsible, and overburdened leads to a loss of creative energy. So Tangerine invites individuals to make room for their creative side and asks that they reinsert fun, joy, and spontaneity into their lives. And Jenny said, oh, yes, go Jenny. All right, Tangerine supports individuals in accessing the abundant pool of creative energy held within the spirit. It then assists that energy in flowing through the heart and into physical manifestation. Tangerine teaches individuals to enjoy life by becoming more abundantly creative and to re-experience the joy and spontaneity they knew in childhood. So it's like have a little bit of inner child expressiveness. I think it's very important to express. Now, even you could use music to express, dance, woodwork, I don't know, however you feel to create, sculpture, pottery, I don't know, any way that you feel that you can create. I'm going to ask you to create today. Jenny said, oh, Margaret said, I'm in my home office already thinking which oil to diffuse today. Thanks. And Jenny said, I need to bathe in tangerine daily. Thanks, Jenny. I think we probably all do at the moment. Life has not been very spontaneous, but we can have spontaneity within ourselves and around ourselves. All righty. So Jenny's saying Zentangle on the Wani this morning. Okay. So Wani's the Warrenora River. Very good. Sounds perfect. All right, so let's check in. We had the hips. How are the hips and the neck and the lungs? And we still have some work to do on the left shoulder, I think. And then it's time to finish. All right, feeling distrustful is what's coming up in the shoulders. So what are you distrustful of? Jenny mentions neck's still a bit stiff, needs some chiro too, I think. Yeah, we can plug in some chiro. I guess we all need to take time to maintain our bodies, isn't it? All right, so this is from Ina Siegel's book. She said, focus your attention on your shoulders. How do they feel? Are they tight or relaxed? Become aware of all the responsibility that you carry on your shoulders. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and imagine the release of all your worries as if they were big rocks that you can throw away. Use your hands to take the rocks off your shoulders and throw them into an imaginary ocean. And she uses divine healing intelligence and says, please release all the strain, stress, worry, insecurity, confusion, hurt, rejection, and sadness from my shoulders, as well as all points of view, all patterns, and the positive and negative charges that contribute towards this condition. Clear until you feel a shift. All right, so I guess that carrying those burdens in your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and tighten your shoulders. Hold your breath for 5 seconds, then exhale slowly and completely relax your shoulders. Do this several times until they feel lighter. Next, rotate your right shoulder forward in a counterclockwise motion for 15 seconds. Rest for 15 seconds. Repeat these 3 times. Now, do this same rotation towards the back in a clockwise motion for the same amount of time, and then do the same for the left. And Joan saying here, take time. Yes, giving self-time, the ultimate self-love. Good job. So, divine healing intelligence, please install courage, balance, confidence, and joy into my life. Help me find blessings and opportunities even in the most challenging experiences. Thank you. Allow yourself to completely relax for a few minutes. Imagine that you're standing in warm yellow sunlight. Allow the rays to penetrate deep into your shoulders, softening the muscles and dissolving all tension. Divine healing intelligence, please heal and regenerate my shoulders to their full strength, vitality, and mobility. Alrighty. So, anyone else? Anything that you want to mention now? I have a advanced energy works course over a few days, just over the Friday the 15th, Monday the 18th, and Tuesday the 19th. So I think we may be able to stagger some one-on-one and do some online. So if you're interested, let me know. I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for jumping on, those that did. Thank you for commenting. It makes it easier. Oh, Jane's mentioned her knee. Okay, left knee not healing 2 years after knee replacement. Right knee's fine 6 years after surgery. Some emotions stuck in that left knee. Some aspect of life that you're not allowing change in, like hanging on to old concepts, can't change kind of idea. And something from age 18 stuck in there as well. Some sort of heavy metal toxicity in your knee as well. So I think Medical Medium makes a heavy metal detox smoothie. So that might be worth looking up for you if you're into smoothies. The other things that you could try could be chlorella, fossil shell flower, N-acetylcysteine, St. Mary's thistle, other detoxifying things. There are homeopathic remedies for toxic metals. You could also use like a homeopathic remedy for like liver and gallbladder. Okay. Anyway, let me know if you need any extra assistance. Just personal message me later. All right. All the best for everyone. Hope you have an amazing day. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for jumping on. I know it's a bit harder to get up now that it's daylight saving. All the best. Bye.